Hi guys, it's Lakia back with our Blackboard discussion. For our first question of what was like some of the takeaways I got from the chapter or what I found most interesting. Well, actually, with these chapters and these topics, I find them all interesting because with the movement and the drama, these are the areas where I feel least comfortable with doing. And I guess by me being an introvert and not being shy, I found it difficult. Some of the examples they gave for me to actually be able to see myself actually getting up and doing them. But some of the things I did learn a lot more about what they were, because in my mind I was just thinking like, oh, it has to be just dance and the typical way we think of dance or movement and like lyrical. But when reading the chapter, I'm realizing that no, it's so much more than that. It's not just what the broad sense of the word. There is so much smaller details and other benefits in it. And one of the things that I found interesting about the movement was the different aspects. So like the pulling, when they talk about like the tension, pulling with the client and like drawing out the tension and things like that, how that could be beneficial to them to getting out anxiety or frustrations, or like the movement around the chairs, or just the different ways that movement can be anything, and it doesn't have to be in the sense of dance as I always thought it was. Another thing I liked about the chapter was the guided imagery. It's nothing I've ever tried before, but it would be sad. Like going into the second question, that would be something that I'm like really interested in trying. So I went and found. I remember like having a book on guided imagery for groups. So I actually did try this with one of my groups. So we got out the mats on the floor and we like dimmed the lights and we I put on ocean sounds from like YouTube, and I read through one of the passages. And before then, I let the clients rate how their stress level was feeling from 1 to 10. And at the beginning of the class and at the end, we had a discussion and let them rate were they feeling less stressed, was there no change. But for the most part, everyone did feel they had a change in release of energy. So, and this is with a men's group. So I thought they were going to be not cooperative with it, but they really enjoyed it. So it lets me see that if I get outside my own personal shyness and things I don't want to do, and for me to be a little bit uncomfortable, I can get a lot of benefit from my patients and my clients, especially like later on when it's going into school counseling. I could see me using this in small group sessions, or as icebreakers, or as like the skill of the day, like what they were talking about, the tension, and by like tensing up and releasing it slowly. So those are all aspects that I could use in the classroom when I get into a school. And also with the drama. I realized that it's not necessarily me having to do the things, but just setting up where I will have students that will love doing that type of stuff. So being open to going in and trying new things. So with the drama, I said I could do things like with the role playing. Like if we have, I'm pretty sure I remember in school we had like when you had conflict resolutions, and you with I could get the peers that may be having a conflict or bullying to come up and let's do some role playing of what's a negative way to handle the situation, or how did you handle it, and let's go back and role play it again and see what's a positive way, what's something I can say, what's something that you could have done differently, and use it as teaching mechanisms, and versus just the sit down like talk therapy that we learn. And the benefits of that could be like, especially with students or clients that are not receptive at first to wanting to talk and being in therapy, this would be a good way to build rapport with them. And also maybe we have students that aren't as expressive or don't feel comfortable with us yet. So these aspects can be used to help build a relationship with the client, and also be able to let the students or the clients get out their feelings in a different manner than what we're used to and just talking. And let's see if I answered all those. On the third part, about the creativity journal. I was really surprised about my takeaways with the creativity journal. As a recreational therapist, I'm used to, doing some type of like activities, of course, to go along with different topics or different issues. But art it's not really one of the things that like I dive into a lot. But I was really like surprised and kind of shocked at the things I did come up with. A lot of times they definitely weren't original ideas. I had to look and research and see what spoke to me. But after sitting down and completing it, I really felt like a sense of pride, like, oh, I can do this type of thing. And also it was a way. It's sitting right there. That's what I was looking. It was a way for me to be able to get out some of my inner feelings as well, like especially with like the feelings of all the things that have been going on in the world, as far as race relations and police and things, and all the frustrations and the sadness going on with that. I really found that my activity journal entry in that one, it really was cathartic for me. I was like, wow, like I really feel better like now that I've done that, because it was that was a rough day for like most Americans. So after I sat down and actually did that journal entry, I really felt a lot better about about the situation. So I definitely see the benefits in it. What was I most surprised about? I think I may be most surprised about that. I didn't think that I was going to be able to have at least 6 different entries and like with different mediums to put in the journal. But I was surprised that I actually had more ideas than what I originally felt I would. Like I had more than 6 entries that I could have done. So that was surprising to me. Maybe like to just take a step back and get out of my own way. That was another takeaway, that I am capable of doing a lot of things that I don't give myself credit for or feel like I'm able to do. So that was one of the biggest takeaways. See y'all week after next. Thank you.